And what type? Good afternoon, students. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now today we are going to discuss user-defined ordinal types. 5 different points we are going to discuss today. One is the user-defined ordinal types. In that, enumeration type and subrange. Second point is the array types. In that, arrays are basically categorized into 4 types. One is the static array, second is the fixed static dynamic array, third one is the fixed heap dynamic array, Fourth one is the heap dynamic array. These are the four different categories of the array. And third point today we are going to discuss, that is the heterogeneous array. In that, array initialization, array initialization. And the fourth point today we are going to discuss array operations, and fifth point today we are going to discuss in this lecture, that is the slices and associative arrays. These 5 different points today we are going to discuss in this lecture. Now I will share the link. Yes, anybody want to ask any question? Any problem?
Sir, your video is paused.
No. व्हिडिओ चालू ठेवला ना, डेली पॅकचे कंजम्पशन आहे तो जास्ती होतो व्हिडिओ मुळे. Is it visible screen now? Yes, it is. Now, user defined ordinal types. In the user defined ordinal types, there are the data types that are defined by the programmer. There are the data types that are defined by the programmer while writing the programs. Till now, while writing the programs, you have defined the data types. Have you defined? While writing the programs, have you defined the data types? Yes or no? While writing the programs, up till now you might have written the programs in C, C++, Python or Java or in any other language. While writing the program, have you defined the data types?
Yes, sir.
So while writing the programs, always we have to define the data types. Which data types we are going to use in our program, those data types we have to define. So there are the data types that are defined by the programmer. When we are writing the program, it means we are the programmer. If I am writing the program, I am the programmer. If you are writing the program, then you are the programmer. So data types that are defined by the programmer. While writing program, I am writing the program in my own way. So I will define what are the data types I required in the program. If you are writing the program, you have to define whatever the data types you are using in the program, that you have to define. Whatever the programmer is writing the program, that programmer has to define the data types. Data types depend on the programmer with the help of primitive data types. with the help of primitive data types. For example, suppose in C structure is an user defined data type. In C structure is an user defined data type created using the keyword struct. Structure you are going to define user defined data type. User defined data type, that is the structure. How to define this? What is the keyword for that? That is the struct. struct. Struct is the keyword that the programmer will define as the data type. Right? If the structure, if the struct is there, student is there, suppose. What are the entities will come? If student is there, if his roll number, his name, his date of birth, like this. Struct student, in the next line curly brace, roll number, semicolon, character, name as the character, that is an array of 10, 15, 20. We have to define how many characters will be there in that array, character name and date of birth. Complete the curly brace. This is the keyword structure the programmer will define. The ordinal type is one in which the range of possible values. An ordinal type is one. The ordinal type is one in which the range of possible values can be easily associated with the set of positive integers. There are two user-defined ordinal types. There are two user-defined ordinal types. First one is the enumeration type. First one is the enumeration type. Second one is the sub-range type. Now, in the enumeration type provides a way of defining and grouping collections of named constants which are called enumeration constants. Enumeration types provide a way of defining and grouping collections of named constants which are called enumeration constants. For example, in C hash we can define the enum data type. Enum data type. How to define that? Enum days. If we are to define the days, see here, enum day. Now, how to define this enum day? That is in the curly brace: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Complete the curly brace. This is the enum day. In CH we can define enum data type in this way. The enumeration constants are typically implicit, assigned the integer values 0, 1, 2 and so on, but can explicitly assign any integer literal in the types definition. That means we can explicitly assign enumeration constants. This is the enumeration days, enumeration day, right? This is the enumeration day. Enumeration constant, that is the member. This is the implicitly. If we write the explicitly, right? If we write this enumeration type explicitly, then enum suit, if suppose the suit is there, that example it is that example is not taken here, only this enum name, enum day, this example I have taken.
Okay, I will tell you. That is the constant. If it is the constant, explicitly constant, then enum. If suit is there, UPU is the suit, then club, diamonds, hearts, spades, right? Four different type of types will be there in a suit: club, diamonds, hearts, and spades, right? Club, that is the 0, that is the constant. Diamonds, that is 10. Hearts, that is 20. Spades, that is 3. These are the constant. We have to define in this way only. That's all. Right? In this way. Those are the constants. Now here, what is in this? This enumeration type of provide a way of defining and grouping collection of name or constants which are called enumeration constants. Either name or the constant. Name, that is the enum days. Right? And if we take the example of this constant, पत्ते माहिती आहेत ना? पत्ते रमी खेळतो ना आपण, कधी कधी लहानपणी खेळायचो ना, कधीतरी वेळ घालवण्यासाठी. त्यात असतात ना इस्पीक, खिलावर, बदाम आणि कुठलं चौकट. तसं आपण हे सूट, क्लब, डायमंड्स, हार्ट्स अँड स्पेड्स, वी आर डिफाइनिंग द कॉन्स्टंट्स. Just that is the club as the 10, diamonds as the 20, hearts as the 30, spades as the 40. Like this, we can just we have to define that constant in a constant. That's it. This is what the enumeration type, right? And if the sub range is there, sub range. Now, sub-range data types are used in Pascal and Ada. Where it can use, sub-range data types are used in Pascal programming language and Ada programming language. In the example, it is I have written here in the Pascal and Ada. It is basically the continuous sequence of an ordinal type. It is a continuous sequence of an ordinal types. For defining a subset of values, the subrange for it is basically the continuous sequence of ordinal types. For example, if you take type color, type is the color. Now here it is written type POS 0 dash max int, means positive integers 0, 1, 2, 3, like this, maximum integer. Subtype POS type is the integer range from the 0 dash integer last number. So if this is one of the example, that is the positive integers. If type is the color, subrange color is what? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, etc. Just we have to write in this way. Type color is in bracket. We have to just mention the name of the color, different colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, like this. And next, subtype, my favorite is color, range, orange, dash blue, like this. We have to define the subrange in this way. And where it is used, in which programming language this subrange type is used, that is in Pascal and Ada. Just you remember this. We are not going to learn these languages, Pascal and Ada programming languages, in future also. Not only in this subject, in future also we are not going to learn those languages. Now it is outdated. At least you should know the name of the languages and what are the things are there used in those programming languages. That is why this such points are covered in this subject, principles of programming languages. In the different in principles, what are the principles are there in different programming languages? That is what we are going to learn in this subject. In different programming languages means even if nobody is using nowadays this Pascal, Ada, Fortran, Basic, COBOL, then also what are the techniques used in those? What are the techniques or what are the structure or what is syntax used in those programming languages, that we have to learn in this subject, even if it is outdated. But काय यूज काय केलंय त्या डिफरंट प्रोग्रामिंग लँग्वेज मध्ये, कुठले डाटा टाइप यूज केलेत, कुठले सब रुटीन यूज केलेत, कुठले स्ट्रक्चर यूज केलेत, कसं ते डिफाईन केलेले आहे, हाऊ इट इज डिफाइंड स्ट्रक्चर, हाऊ इट इज डिफाइंड द अरे, हाऊ इट इज डिफाइंड the pointers in different programming languages. All such principles we have to learn in this subject. Yeah, it is not necessary to go deeply in such outdated programming languages. Now, this next point is an array. I hope all of you have learned. Yeah, you have studied these arrays, right? Array is collection of similar data type elements, right? Array is collection of similar data type element. It is homogeneous aggregate of data elements in which an individual element is identified by its position in the aggregate relative to the first element. Array is collection of similar data type elements. Array is homogeneous aggregate of data elements in which an individual element is identified by its position in the aggregate relative to the first element. Individual array element is specified during subscription expression. Individual array element is specified using subscription expression. For example, C++ array can be declared as int a in square bracket 10, 20, 100 like this, and semicolon. How to define array in C or C++? Have we defined before this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
How it is defined? Is it like this? See here, int my name is equal to, in the curly brace, 2, 3, 4. Is it like this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Here another example, int array. In square bracket 3 is there, equal to, in curly brace, those numbers are defined 2, 3, 4. Is it correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Next, our this point. 4 categories of arrays. Array categorized based on subscript binding. Array categories based on subscript binding. Now, the binding of a subscript type to an array variable is usually static.
The binding of subscript. The binding of a subscript type to an array variable is usually static, but the subscript value range are sometimes dynamically bound. Are sometimes dynamically bound. In a C++, the lower bound of all index ranges is fixed to 0. In C or C++, the lower bound of all index ranges is fixed to 0. In Fortran language, it defaults to 1. It depends on the programming languages. The binding of subscript type of an array. Array categories are based on 4 subscript binding. It means basically 4 categories. One is the static array, second is the fixed static dynamic array, third is the fixed heap dynamic array, fourth is the heap dynamic array. Static array, fixed static dynamic array, static dynamic array, and heap dynamic array. Now the first one, static array. Static array, it is one in which the subscript ranges are statically bound. In static array, it is one in which the subscript ranges are statically bound and storage collection is static. Storage collection is static. That means it is done before runtime. Advantage of this static array is its working is efficient. Its static array working is efficient. There is no need to allocate and delocate memory. There is no need to allocate and deallocate memory. This is what the static array. Subscript ranges are statically bound and storage allocation is static. Before the runtime. Its advantage of static array is its efficiency. Efficiency is efficient. Efficiency is efficient. And what is the disadvantage? Size must be known at compile time. When we come to know its size must be known at compile time. Compile time and print time. Bindings are fixed for entire program. For example, in C, C++, arrays that include the static modifier are static 0, static in my array in square bracket it is given the number 3 in what are those 3 numbers? So this is the one example 2, 3, 4. It user will define this 20, 13, 14. Now next our type is the static fixed stack dynamic array. Fixed stack dynamic array. This fixed stack dynamic array is one in which the subscript ranges are statically bound. Subscript ranges are statically bound, but the allocation is done at elaboration time during execution. But the allocation is done at elaboration time during execution. The advantage of this type is its space efficiency. Space efficiency. And disadvantage is that must know size at compile time. A large array in one subprogram can use the same space
as a large array in different subprograms. This is the fixed stack dynamic array. Next is the stack dynamic array. Stack dynamic array is similar to the stack dynamic, fixed stack dynamic, which is the this one fixed static dynamic. This is the stack dynamic. It is similar to the fixed static dynamic. The storage binding is dynamic but fixed after allocation. That is, the binding is done when requested and storage is allocated from heap, not the stack. Heap, not the stack. So this static dynamic, stack dynamic, this is also called fixed heap dynamic array. Fixed heap dynamic array. So its advantage is it is a flexible one. The size of an array need not be known until the array is to be used. And disadvantage is once created, array size is fixed for lifetime. This is the disadvantage of this fixed heap dynamic array or stack dynamic. Once created, array size is fixed for lifetime. An example, in Ada programming language, we use such type of array. Next is the heap dynamic. Heap dynamic array. Now in this type, binding of a subscript ranges and storage allocation is dynamic and can change any number of times. In this type of dynamic heap dynamic array, binding of a subscript ranges and storage allocation is dynamic and can change any number of times. Now its advantage is that it is also a flexible one. Arrays can grow or shrink during the program execution. So it is this type of array is flexible. And the disadvantages of this heap dynamic array are more space required. It is required more space and runtime overhead. Where this type of heap dynamic array can be used in different programming languages. Those are the Perl, JavaScript, Python, and Ruby. Support heap dynamic arrays. And these are the examples. Now, our next point is the heterogeneous arrays. Heterogeneous arrays. A heterogeneous array is one in which the elements need not be of the same type. A heterogeneous array is one in which the elements need not be of the same type, supported by the different programming languages, that is the Perl, Python, JavaScript, and Ruby. Heterogeneous arrays are supported by the programming languages Perl, Subscript, Python, Ruby. In Perl, the heterogeneous array consists of numbers, strings, and references. In Perl, the heterogeneous array consists of numbers, strings, and references. In Python and Ruby, array elements are references to the objects of any type. In Python and Ruby, array elements are references to the objects of any type. This is the array initialization. How to initialize an array. Now, array initialization is a process in which a list of values that are put in the array in order to in the order in which the array elements are stored in memory. In array initialization is a process in which a list of values that are put in the array in order in the order in which the array elements are stored in the memory. Some languages allow initialization at the time of storage allocation. Some languages allow initialization at the time of storage allocation. Here are the different examples in different programming languages how an array is should be initialized. For example, now in Proton language uses the data statement or put the values in forward slash dash 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 forward slash on the declaration. In Proton, data statement is used in this way. In C and C++, put the values in braces. That is the curly braces like this. Here it is shown curly braces. Put the values in the braces. That is the array initialization. Can let the compiler count them int stuff. This is an array in square bracket is equal to in curly braces the array is defined. What is the 2, 4, 6, 8? That is here it is the 4, right? Those are the 4 elements in an array. In ADA programming language, how it is defined? Positions for the values can be specified. Positions of the values can be specified. For example, score colon array 1 to 14, 1 to 1 to 2. That is here now position of the values. Values are defined from 1 is equal to right 24, 10, and for 2 it is 10, 7. Like this, in ADA programming language, how arrays are initialized? That is the positions for the values can be specified. In Pascal and Module 2 do not allow array initialization. In Pascal language and in Modular 2 programming language do not allow array initialization. We can't use the array in these programming languages. C-based languages already you are familiar with this int list in the array. It is defined 4 different elements in that array. A character names, if it is character names, characters Mike, Fred, Mary, Love, like this. These are the names defined in an array. In ADA programming language, list, that is array of 1 to 5 of integer. These are the array 1 to 5 of integer. This is the like this we can define in ADA programming language. And in Python already you know list comprehensions list that is defined in this way. In different programming languages we can define in different ways. Initialization of array in different ways. But in Pascal and Modular 2 do not allow array initialization. Now, what are the array operations are there? Array operations. The common array operations are assignment, comparison, for equality and inequality, and slices. The common array operations are assignment, comparison for equality and inequality, and slices. The C-based language do not provide any array operations. The C-based programming language do not provide an array operations except through the methods of Java C++, and C hash. Perl supports array assignments but does not support comparisons. Perl supports array assignments but does not support comparisons. Python's arrays are called lists. Python arrays are called lists. They behave like dynamic arrays. Python arrays are called lists. They behave like dynamic arrays. Arrays are heterogeneous. Python also supports arrays element membership operations. This APL, most powerful array processing operations for vectors and matrices. Add-on allows array assignment but also concatenation. Python supports array concatenation and element membership operations. Ruby also provides array concatenation. Proton provides elemental operations. Proton provides elemental operations because they are between pairs of array elements. For example, plus, that is the summation operator between two arrays, result in an array of the sum of the element pairs of the two arrays. That is the C is equal to A plus B. So these in different programming languages, different type of array operations are there. In Python, assignment with an equal to on list does not make a copy equal to. Instead, assignment makes the two variables point to the one list in memory. Two variables means, suppose one variable, that is the color, is equal to, in curly braces 10, 20, 30. Complete the curly brace. This is the color defined as one assignment. And next line, A is equal to color. And what is color? Color is defined in the above statement, that is color is equal to, in the curly brace 10, 20, 30, like this. The list will point to the same memory location as that of order. The list will point to the same memory location as that of color. Ruby programming language also provides array concatenation. APL provides most powerful array processing operations for vectors and matrices, as well as unary operators. Like such, in different programming languages, different operations are to be carried out. Next, that is the array slices. Today's our this last point here. Today's slices and associative arrays. Associative arrays. Now slices. Slice. A slice is some substructure of an array. A slice is an substructure of an array, nothing more than a referencing mechanism. Slice of an array is nothing but the substructure of that array. It is the substructure of that array. The operator used within the square bracket. The operator used within the square bracket to indicate that it is a list slice and not the index of the list. And not the index of the list. These are the different examples how the slice can be defined. in the program. This is the program 90. Right. How in this program language, slice can be defined in this way. In ADA programming language, single dimension array slice. It is a single dimension array slice. That is the list of 4 less than 10. In program, that is the integer mat, like this mat, first column, second row. What will be the value? That is. In a Python, slices can be defined. A is equal to in the square bracket, the different elements are given 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. In this way, uh, the slice can be defined in Python. Next, our point is the associative array. The associative array is an unordered collection of data elements. An associative array An associative array is an unordered collection of data elements that are indexed by an equal number of values called keys. Each element of an associative array is the pair of a key and a value. Each element of an associative key is a pair of a key and a value. Associative arrays are supported. Associative arrays are supported by the standard class libraries of Java, C++, C hash. Associative arrays are supported by the standard class libraries of Java, C hash, C hash. For example, in Perl, associative arrays are often called hashes. In Perl, associative arrays are often called hashes. Names begin with a percent percent sign. Names begin with the percent sign. Uh, Literals are delimited by parentheses. Literals are delimited by the parentheses. And hashes can be set to literal values with assignment statement. With assignment statement. Percent C here. Percent times is equal to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Like this, we can define Monday, that is the 77, Tuesday 79. Like this, we can define this. This is in the programming language Perl. And we can elements can be removed with a delete. Delete this item Tuesday. We we can also delete this in the associative array in the code. Now in PHP arrays are both normal array and associative array. C hash support associative arrays with a .NET class. So this is what about the associative array. So today we have seen these different points. Today we discuss this user-defined ordinal types, enumeration type, and subrange. Next, array types. Four basic categories of the array type. That is the static array, fixed stack dynamic array, fixed heap dynamic array, and heap dynamic array. And next, third point, heterogeneous array. How the arrays are to be initialized in the different programming languages, and array, what are the different operations can be carried out in different programming languages, that is the array operations, slice, and associative array. These are the different points that today we have seen in today's lecture. Anybody want to ask me any question?
सकाळचे दोन्ही लेक्चर झाले का? हो नाही. सकाळचे दोन्ही लेक्चर झाले का? माझा आवाज येतोय ना तुमच्यापर्यंत? M3चा पण नाही झाला का? अरे अनम्यूट करून बोला रे, नाहीतर इथं मला मेसेज टाका. टायमिंग कितीचा किती होता? M3चा लेक्चरचा टायमिंग. बर. आणि M3ला किती मुलं असतात ते अंदाजे? ते कॉम्प्युटर आणि IT मिळून घेतलं जाते का M3चं लेक्चर? म्हणजे SE कॉम्प आणि SEIT. हो नाही काहीतरी मेसेज मध्ये चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये टाकून द्या. मला काय सांगायचं नाहीये का? बोलायचं नाही तुम्हाला? चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये दे ना टाकून. If you have any type of doubt related to that subject or the PC computer in subject, if you have any doubt in your mind, if question is in your mind, you are feel free to contact me. Already my contact number before already in this even group PC group. On this group my name Fulani is there. PC Fulani my number is there. Right? If you have any question, this is my number 9403 745 806. Fulani sir. You store in your mobile this number. It is required till now your completion of final year Bachelor of Engineering course. So you store this number Fulani sir in, and if you have doubt in your mind, if any question, if any problem is in your mind, just call me at any time till before 11 p.m. After 11 p.m., 11 to morning 8 p.m. 8 a.m. In that duration, just you don't call me. If you get some very emergency, only in that duration you call me. In case of emergency, I am not saying that in that duration you don't call me. In that duration, only in the emergency, only emergency is there, then and only then entire duration you call me. Otherwise, after 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., uh, you are feel free to call me. No any problem. अगदी मन मोकळेपणाने तुम्ही कुठलीही शंका विचारून लगेच क्लिअर करू शकता. शंका मनात ठेवून बसू नका. मनात ठेवण्याविषयी माझ्याशी डिस्कस करा आणि तुम्ही नंबर लिहून घेतला का? नाव नंबर हो नाही काहीतरी बोला ना ते. Okay, thank you, Sagar, Bhagyashree. Now we are म्हणजे नुसतंच नंबर मोबाईलमध्ये स्टोर करून ठेवू नका. कधी काही शंका आली काही प्रॉब्लेम असेल तर जस्ट डिस्कस विथ मी. Being as a one of the I'm your teacher, no doubt in this, but I'm also one of your best friend. Considering that, assuming that, you just call me. Thank you. Can I stop here now? Can I end the session here now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.